Hello. Happy African History Month. It's day 16, but I'm doing day 15's video right now. I'm going to do day 15's video, then I will also do day 16's video. I'm going to try to post them today on day 16, but I'm still experiencing technical difficulties. Trying to get everything uploaded, and so I will try. But regardless, I'm going to finish filming both of these videos for today, even if they don't get uploaded today. But I will. It's the 16th. I'm gonna film, tape, record now. The 15th, yesterday's video for the 15th, and today's video will follow for the 16th. So I wanted to talk about one of the things I've wanted to do is be responsive to things that are happening right now. And I think it's important to be fluid in response to, public or current events. And so that's why I've chosen today's topic, the Black Panther Party. Now, when I visualized this, I had a clear idea in my head as to why I'm discussing the Black Panther Party. But I then realized later on, said, wait a minute, people may think there's a different reason for me talking about the Black Panther Party today, or yesterday, being the release of the movie Black Panther. That's not the reason. Although I will be doing a review. I have seen the movie. I will be doing a review. It's an interesting movie. But the reason why I want to talk about the Black Panther Party was especially one particular aspect of what they did. So just a brief summary. They were formed in 1966 in response to, general oppression and specifically to police brutality. So one of the things they did was they said, okay, how do we stop police brutality? Well, Huey Newton did some research, the gun laws, and he looked them up, realized what was legally allowed, and said, okay, we're legally allowed to carry firearms, to open carry firearms in California at the time. And so that's what he did. That's what he and the Black Panther Party did. They started carrying firearms legally, in complete accordance with the law. And while they were doing this, they would monitor police activity. So they would monitor police interactions within the community, and they would do so while armed, while completely legally and in accordance with the firearm law at the time. They would monitor police, and they acted as a watchdog on police to stop some of the gross abuses that police were carrying out against black people, black citizens. I would say black citizens within in the minority communities at the time. But fast forward to today. It's 2018. That was 1966. It's 2018. We still have people being murdered by police with no recourse, with no accountability. Police are given paid vacations. Sometimes they're indicted. Sometimes they're not even indicted. Sometimes they're indicted, and the case goes, and in what seems like a clear-cut case of, okay, this is wrong, they're gonna get slammed for this. Oh no, not guilty. Oh no, we couldn't support the evidence. This is insufficient to sustain a conviction. No. Today, that was 1966. It's 2018. That's astounding for just the sheer, it's like, wow, what happened? But I wanted to focus on the fact that they were armed, that they were using they were making use of the Second Amendment to better protect our communities. I say that because, like I said, in relation to current events, there has been a horrible mass shooting this week. A kid has gone to a school, and school that he graduated from, or that he was expelled from. Yeah, I don't think he graduated. He was expelled from the school and murdered 17 people. As these mass shootings have happened, we've seen knee-jerk response from the right. Oh, the Second Amendment. From the left. Gun control. Oh, how many more people? How many more kids? And unfortunately, I see people within the black community rushing to jump on, because the Democrats, they are, black community has a very close relationship with the Democratic Party, running to their aid on this policy, which is clearly not in the interest of the black community. And the Black Panther Party is a perfect example. Gun control was literally enacted to stop them from being able to monitor the police, to stop them from being able to maintain order within their own communities. This was literally done to stop a movement, to interfere and stop a movement that was in place to benefit the black community, minority communities. And we're sitting here today in 2018, completely oblivious of that history, of those facts, cheerleading, caping, promoting policies which will hurt us, which were originally designed to stop us, to oppress us, to stop us from being able to protect ourselves against oppression, be it state sponsored, be it some white supremacist organization sponsored, but to stop us from being able to protect ourselves. That is ridiculous. We need to look at the Black Panther Party and say, wait a minute, they were onto something. They were working within the law, using the Second Amendment to their benefit. Why can't we? Number one. Number two, why would we support a policy that would disarm those of us in the black community, leaving us at the mercy of these white supremacist organizations, these, militias, and of the government, of the police, of the look who's in power right now. The very same people who will sit here and tell us that Trump is a racist, is a piece of crap, wants to oppress us. Jeff Sessions does not, is trying to turn back all criminal justice reforms, are trying to put more power in these people's hands. In one hand, they're pretending to give a damn about us as black people. And in the very next breath, they're advocating policies that will wreak havoc upon our communities. Do you think about it? Do you want a Jeff Sessions, Trump-led Justice Department enforcing a law that bans, let's say, all semi-automatic weapons, all semi-automatic long guns. Think about it. What communities are they coming to first? Because even without Jeff Sessions, even without Trump, we've seen, let's take a look at a city like New York with a so-called progressive person like de Blasio, who is married to a black woman and has children, but yet still the marijuana policy is being enforced just out of proportion against black people. So if new gun laws were to be passed, who do you think would be the first community that would face the wrath of state, local, and federal governments? Who would be getting locked up en masse? Who would this law be used as a pretext to search to go after, to disrupt our communities? Who? We can't ignore history. We have to realize that, okay, if the Black Panthers were doing this, and that's why I bring it back to, the Black Panthers are doing this for a reason. The government, there are people who will sit here and say, oh, it's ridiculous. These right-wing people are afraid of an oppressive government. But even if it's ridiculous for them, assume it's ridiculous for right-wing conservatives, in middle America to be afraid of the government. Is it ridiculous for black people to be afraid of the government? It's ridiculous for black people not to be afraid of the government. If you have paid any attention to the events of the 200 and this, actually we can go further than 200, but let's talk about the 276, 252 years, 242 years that, no, it's 52, 76, 30. Yeah, it is 42. The 242 years that the government has waged war against black people. If we pay attention to that, we realize that we are the first people that should be arguing for a strong Second Amendment and our ability to protect ourselves for several reasons. One, we know that there are people who are within the government who are acting outside of the scope of their authority against black people, who do not like black people, who have racist agendas. We know that. We've seen it. The FBI has spoken on these statistics about these people who are infiltrated the government and use it as these official positions to carry out their insidious agendas. But also, even if we're not dealing with people who are overtly coming to hurt black people, these people who have just inherent biases, if we are able to protect ourselves, we can keep these people at arm's distance, and so that our community can take care of our own community. We don't need to have outside forces. We don't need to depend on the police to come and protect us. We can protect ourselves. The Black Panthers are the perfect example. I don't agree with everything the Black Panthers did or stood for. But tell me why that policy, they're engaging in utilizing, making use of the Second Amendment legally to protect, minority communities. Tell me why that's a bad idea. It was actually the brilliant idea. And you can see how much of a brilliant idea it was because the government hated it. They actually went behind and changed the laws because now they were like, well, wow, we we want to stop them, we want to disrupt them, but they're acting in accordance with the law, so we can't do it overtly. So we have to do something insidious to be able to stop them. We don't like that they have guns. We don't like that they're armed. But we need to come up with an excuse to disarm them. I think right now, the Black Panthers provide us a great lesson. I think about the march in Texas, where you had black gun owners responsibly marching. One of these gentlemen was targeted as being responsible for killing police officers, and then it was later revealed, oh no, he had nothing to do with it. But that desire to not see black people armed, exercising our Second Amendment rights, is nothing new, but it should scare us. It should wake us up. It should let us be aware of the reality. See, the Black Panthers, and this is why I say it's important for us to study history with a historical, through a lens of application, of seeing what we can learn from those events today. How can we? And there's many things I think the Black Panthers did. From community policing to community improvement, the free lunch program, that not depending on the government, but this is the theme. This is a theme of the Black Panthers that I think is so monumentally important, of us doing for us protecting us by exercising the Second Amendment, us providing for us free lunch programs, doing these things for ourselves. I think that is critically important, because the quicker we start doing that within the black community for ourselves, the quicker we can get the government away from us and stop this game that the government plays of, well, you need us to do this, but we're going to need something in return. We're going to need to curtail your liberties over here, over there, but we're doing it for your own good. Let's work off our own good. The Black Panthers did a lot to show us a potential solution, a part of a potential solution. We cannot allow somebody else, some outside group, the Democratic Party, who has its own agenda with respect to guns, to control, to get us to back and parrot policies that are not in our best interest. So I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And of course, I encourage you to do more research into the Black Panthers. And normally my discussion about Black Panthers would encompass more than just, but I think I really want to focus on that because of the relevance to that aspect of their movement, because of its relevance today. And I think its importance right now, when because I've been seeing it, habitually, a lot of, promoting, gun control from the black community without thinking about how that actually is going to affect us and hurt us. Well, thank you for joining me here on day 16, February 16th, 2018. Happy African History Month, and I will see you tomorrow.